take on seeing the crew from Blue Origin there? Give us a little bit of their perspective of what happened when they were out there in space. And Mike, I found it very heartening, that they left Wally Funk for last when they asked them one by one what it was like out there, but also just to see her level of enthusiasm. She's 82 years old on paper, but it certainly didn't seem that way in spirit today.
Yeah, you gotta love that lady, man. Wally was just awesome. I've never met her. But I certainly feel like I can relate to her, and she's a great explorer, pilot, just obviously love of life, and it's so wonderful that this event of this space launch seems to have done so many wonderful things. In addition to getting those 4 people into space and a great accomplishment for the whole Blue Origin team, but also we got to know Wally Funk a little better out of it, and right there I think is worthwhile. And I think all the these wonderful things we've seen in the press conference toward the end with these awards being given out, it shows space can make a difference in people's lives and contribute in many different ways that I would have never thought of. It's not just pure research. Inspiration, education, but now even some new ways that once you open it up to people, they'll think of ways to use it for good, so for the better of the world. So I'm really pleased by what we just saw.
And Hakeem, when it was Jeff Bezos' time to speak, he took the opportunity to thank a lot of people. And one of the groups that he went out of his way to thank were all the scientists, the engineers who worked behind the scenes to make this possible. What do you think a mission like this does to inspire more people to go into STEM areas and to want to work not only as astronauts, as the people who go to space, but also the many scientists that are working behind the scenes to make this happen?
Yeah, it's incredibly powerful. And one of the things about doing space research is that it's just really cool, right? And so one of the tricks I use to get students on the fence to actually decide to go into a career in STEM is to take them on one of these great scientific voyages. But I want to speak for a moment on what we heard about his philanthropic endeavors and what Van Jones had to say. One of the things that have been the most rewarding about my career is not the science, it's not the engineering, it's not the discoveries, and it's not the invention. It is helping people to improve their own lives. For me, I do that through education and science education. And what he said that really resonated with me is you go through America, you go through the world, and you see all these nooks and crannies, and you see these people who are so amazing and working so hard to help other people's children and help their communities, and they get no publicity at all. They're doing it because that's what they want to do. And I do this stuff to the detriment of my scientific career, because scientists, it's as if if LeBron starts making movies, right? You're not that serious about basketball anymore. So everything I heard today just left me feeling so wonderful. I'm so happy to see what's happened.
I might add, by the way, that Jeff Bezos also thanked Amazon customers, making it clear that Amazon customers essentially paid for this mission. And I think I played a very, very big role in that part of this mission. So you're welcome to everyone out there who enjoyed it. But Mike, I also want to go back to you on just the ceremony started with them pinning those wings onto each of their spacesuits. What's that feeling like when you get that?
That's pretty cool. They actually gave us our astronaut wings. I think we were in space when they gave them to them, because we flew them on the flight that flown astronaut wings. But typically your spouse will, when we first got our first set of astronaut rings was silver. We paid for all this, by the way. This was a government program, so we paid for our silver wings and our gold wings. Silver is when you become an astronaut and you pass your training, you're eligible, and your spouse usually puts those on you. And then in space, you get your gold ones. But yeah, it's pretty, very meaningful to get those. When I got mine, of course, were different than what they're getting today. But I was also good. The person who was doing the pinning, there was my friend Jeff Ashby, a former astronaut who was in the astronaut class before mine. He was actually our class sponsor, so he was like our mother hen, taking care of this new group of astronauts back in 1996, 25 years ago. And he went to work for Blue Origin, and he's doing the pinning. And I think he had a little trouble with that, which is typically why we leave it to a spouse, male or female. They're usually a little bit better at pinning things on us than it seemed like Jeff was today. But it's whoever gives it to you, whoever you get it on yourself, whoever you earn those, it's really very special and something you treasure and want to hand down to your kids.
Your spouse is probably less afraid to prick you, right? If they prick you, they just say, hold still, it's your fault, as opposed to when you have an acquaintance, they're trying to be extra gentle.
That's it. I've pinned things on people, and it's nerve-wracking. So that's why usually a spouse is a good candidate for that.
There you go. But speaking of spouse and family members in general, you know, it was very cool to see Jeff and his brother Mark talking about this enthusiastically as brothers. What an amazing experience for them. But they awarded this necklace to their mother or Jeff did at least, that he was wearing while he was there out in space. We saw him give that to her and put it around her neck, and also show off some of the other ornaments that they brought with them. Before they started, I was asking you guys if you thought we might see some of those little trinkets come out while they were in flight. And instead, you know, Jeff Bezos waited until now to explain that he had with him Amelia Earhart's goggles, which was extra cool given he's sitting next to Wally Funk, and he definitely made the parallel there of what both of them did for women in aviation, but also a piece of canvas from the Wright brothers plane, as well as from the first hot air balloon flight. And all I could think as all of this was happening was looking into the future. Are we one day going to see someone wearing Jeff Bezos' hat, looking back on this day and what it did for space exploration? Hakeem, what do you think?
Well, listen, meaning means stuff to us humans, right? These items have meaning. So as a nerd myself, there are certain things I see that people are fond of, and I wonder why. Like diamonds, right? It's a shiny rock. I don't get it. But there is a meaning that is related to human experience, then these objects take on a life of their own, right? They have a story, and they connect you to that moment in time forever. And you know, as we go through our lives, things that are special to us remain special to us. And this is a very special moment in these people's lives. They're going to never forget this moment, and they have these trinkets, and I'm sure it will probably go forward in the future.
All right, well, that does it for this newscast. Hakeem, Mike, we appreciate your analysis as always. Thank you for breaking it down for us, and thank you at home for joining us. I'm Diane Macedo. Remember, ABC News Live is here for you all day with the latest news, context, and analysis. I'll see you back here at 3 p.m. Eastern with Kira Phillips for the breakdown. Stay safe, everyone. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.